Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan and the market. Well, earlier it was mixed, but now it is mostly down. The total market cap is down 5.57% in the last 24 hours, sitting at about 1.63 trillion. There is also a 17% decrease in volume. There are a couple of stars, though. We've got Shiba Inu, Chili's, AMP, and Quant up double digits, ranging anywhere from 18 to 20% up in the last 24 hours. And then there is some profit taking happening with Theta, Compound, Nexo, Chainlink, Matic, and Kusama. So I want to just tell you that we're going to talk about three projects out there that have digital assets that I want you to pay attention to, because there's a lot happening. And yeah, I feel really strong about each one of these that will be covered. And for the purpose of just knowing where I am, I had to use my backup software right now, which is Outclip, because for some reason Loom is acting up on me. They might be updating their software. So anyway, you probably will lose me. I'm so sorry for that, but I'm sure it'll be fixed soon. All right, the first story that we're going to talk about, though, before I jump into talking about those digital assets, is somebody is most definitely coaching Saylor. Yeah, have a listen, because he is changing his tune, and it's changing in a very noticeable way. I want you to hear this because I am just positive someone has yanked his chain.
Things properly understood, and you're going to want to build your buildings on a solid footing of granite. So Bitcoin is meant to last forever, high integrity, very durable. Ethereum is trying to dematerialize exchanges and the finance establishment. I think that as the market starts to understand these things, there's a place for everybody.
Did you hear what he said? There's a place for everybody. That is not BTC maximalist talk, and so I am positive someone got to him. All right, the first coin I want to talk about is Quant. Quant is a monster. Hold on tight. It's very exciting. It's up 84% on the week. This is a project that has the Overledger. They recently integrated with the XRP ledger, and that was done in April, and now it is just on a tear. Really, all-time high today, just over $80. It's backed off slightly, now sticking around 70. There's a lot of reasons why I like this project, but the one in particular is the CEO, Gilbert Verdian. He has the best resume in the fintech sector. I think you'd be hard-pressed to show me any resume that outdoes his. And so Ripple, SWELL, moving to the next company and digital asset I want to talk about. Ripple is having their private SWELL event for the Middle East, Northern African region. Yeah, you need a access code to get in. I tried, as you can see, because you can see in red that the incorrect access code was given. Well, you have to try, right? Yeah, so we'll probably see some video that pops out of this. That is typically what they do. So from the previous SWELL events, we usually see some of that video. I look forward to it. All right, next. Now I'm jumping to the digital asset, XRP. Thanks to a very kind XRP community member who wishes to stay anonymous, he shared with me two real gems, an article and a video. And with this article, we have Ripple's Brooks Entwistle. He is one that is fairly new. March, I believe it was, he was put into the position. He's in Singapore. He is the managing director and general manager of Asia Pacific region, and he is very pumped on ODL. ODL being the on-demand liquidity that uses the digital asset XRP. There was a poignant quote from this article, and I didn't want it to go to waste. So I sent a copy to Hester Peirce of the SEC. The quote is, if you think of APAC, Asia Pacific, fintech, crypto, being based in Singapore, you've got all that in spades, meaning they have their regulation in place. It is crypto friendly, and in terms of fintech, which is incredibly competitive and moving fast, Singapore is where it's at for this particular region, the Southeast Asian region. It's just there. It's definitely the Silicon Valley of the East, and so I hope she sees that, because it's just sickening and maddening and horrible that the United States is getting pushed behind and getting to a point where it's going to be very disadvantaged. It's going to be at a very disadvantage. It's going to be at a disadvantage to catch up, is what I'm trying to say. In all seriousness, I really, it just is terrible. All right, now here we get to the video, and I have pulled out 3 portions. The first is about the lawsuit. So in this section, Brooks is asked about the suit, and he had a very, very interesting answer. I'm going to cue this up at the right location, and it's just about 1 minute long, and I think you'll find it also interesting. Here you go.
Controversy behind it, and where are you at the moment in terms of this lawsuit?
We are working with the SEC now. The lawsuit is in process. We're in discussions. It's important to note, Brian, and Jackie knows as well, that we are working closely with regulators all over the world, including importantly here in the region, where regulators have been leaning forward and been supportive in their regimes around cryptocurrency and digital assets. We do think that the U.S. is a fantastic market if the regulations are cleared up and cryptocurrencies and digital assets can thrive. And so we will continue these discussions. We do think our case is sound. So importantly, we are pushing forward. But from where I sit as the managing director of our APAC business, we are in discussions with and excited to work with regulators here who are really pushing out and forward to create ecosystems in markets from Singapore to Japan to Malaysia to Thailand and elsewhere that are crypto and digital asset friendly. Hence the build here.
Yeah. Oh, take a look at this, because I watched this video more than once. Oh, I don't know if I can get right to the part for you.
Hence the build here.
See that smile? That's pretty rare, because this is a guy who doesn't smile very often. All right, I'm going to play the second portion for you. This is where Brooks is giving an example of how his live-in help from the Philippines ran into an emergency and had to had to remit emergency money. And so he actually experienced what it was like to get money to another country very fast. And because there are some great partners of Ripple in the Philippines, and they have ODL in that liquid corridor, it worked incredibly well for him. And then he talks about on-demand liquidity with the new partner, Tranglo. This is really good. I want you to have a listen to this.
Absolutely, and it's an important transition and segue to why we're so excited about the Tranglo partnership. Because a product we've developed called on-demand liquidity, ODL, is the ability for this process that we've been describing of transferring money across borders to speed up, to have the cost come down, the security be about as good as you can have it, and be something that's even environmentally friendly to do it. And so we feel very strongly about this. And one of the things that we're going to work closely with our partners at Tranglo on is developing that across corridors. So if you think about ODL and the notion of transferring money, say, to the Philippines, it's one of the first corridors that we're going to work with Tranglo on, among several to come. It is a much quicker process. So the notion of transferring local currency into XRP, and then XRP settling across the ledger to another jurisdiction or country and immediately being paid out. The friction that takes out of the system is incredible, and we think is the future of how money can be transferred quickly. And Jackie and the team, and our teams are working closely daily with steercos. Our teams are synced up, making this a reality. So we're very excited about where these use cases we've been talking about go in the future around ODL. And it does make it very interesting. Yes, we're talking about remittances and consumers, but clearly small businesses moving money across borders, there's also very compelling arguments there as well.
Yeah, it's very, very excellent commentary coming from him. He's so lucky to be in this part of the world with on-demand liquidity. All right, the last portion is going to talk about how Tranglo has that share now of their company stake with Ripple, and it talks a little bit about that, and also, well, just have a listen. It's very short, just about 2 minutes long.
Now,
yeah, okay.
Brooks, what was the thinking behind the acquisition of the 40% stake in Tranglo?
First of all, we have known the Tranglo team for many years. We had partnered before, and that's obviously an important first step in any kind of relationship and deeper investments. We knew what Jack and the team were capable of and the reach that they had and the ability to kind of deliver across multiple markets. And they also were people that we believed could really help us take this next generation product, ODL, into these markets. And so, and we've done this, in other places, but we have the opportunity to invest in our ecosystem. We want to do that. We want to invest in the region. And so this is a great company and a great investment opportunity. I'm going to go on the board. I'm honored to do that and to serve there. Amir Sahrangi, who is our VP of product, will also take a board seat. And we are putting people against this to make the reality of this partnership and investments work. And
what was this investment amount in Tranglo?
We don't disclose investment amounts around this, as you can appreciate, given your show. But suffice it to say that we're excited about both parties doing well by this.
Yep, very good. All right. And it goes on to really say that they're pulling all the players together in this region. There was a special shout out to Novati in Australia. And I think what Brooks is really focused on is achieving that internet of value, as he says. I'm going to put a link to this video in its entirety. You'll want to see it, and it will be in the description below. All right, so now let's move to this last portion, which is, I think, really interesting. So remember, on June 3rd, we saw a picture of Brad Garlinghouse with the CEO of Algorand, which is ALGO, okay? And I was a little surprised, like, wow, check that out. And then a few days after that, Michael Arrington added to this, ALGO and XRP can live very happily together. That's cryptic, everyone. That's a little cryptic. And then, if you remember, we had Flare Networks announce on June 8th that there's going to be an integration with Algorand in one governance proposal that we think is pretty much the entire Flare community would support. Yeah, I am sure, what I've heard, there is full support to do it. And look at this. This is from Borderless Capital. All right, so we welcome Flare Networks to our portfolio. We are looking forward to supporting the integration of Flare Networks, the Ethereum virtual machine, smart contracts interoperability into the Algorand borderless economy. I mean, this one really caught everybody by surprise. And then yesterday, I sent out this tweet that the two former PayPal employees, along with a former Ripple employee, they actually are launching a decentralized cross-border payment network connecting traditional and digital currencies. Well, what they have is, here's Wellington Scully. Here is the CTO. CTO is 15 years with payments at PayPal. And then the CEO is from OKCoin and PayPal. And you know, when Wellington was at Ripple, he was part of the foundation really to carve out the strategy of the on-demand liquidity for XRP. So it's a really, this was a really key part of the Ripple team early on. And they have what's called Rapid. This is the payments. And on the Algorand blockchain, it's going to use regulated stable coins. And those stable coins, with a plural, with an S, includes the USDC, but they are definitely saying that there are stable coins, including USDC. In a trustless way, I'm telling you, trustless is Hugo's, the CEO of Flare. That is his favorite word. And look at this. Wow, what a fast blockchain. 46,000 transactions per second. And they can confirm a transaction finality in approximately 2.5 seconds. Very, very impressive. All right, now don't forget, there was an announcement coming that there is a stable coin that will be issued and usable on Flare networks. And it'll join Spark, FLR, the native token, along with XLM, Doge, Litecoin, and XRP, which are the F assets. And of course, there is the Gala token that can be minted on Flare or transferred from Ethereum. This also took everybody by surprise. So we've got this stable coin, and I know everybody is struggling to pronounce it. Let's take a look here. What it means is a gold coin from the Roman Empire. When you just talk about it as a noun, so you're just talking about the coin, it is said like this.
Aureus, aureus.
Aureus. But when it's used in the plural form, so you've got a lot of those gold coins from the Roman Empire, it's pronounced like
Uriai,
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 uriai.
Uriai. So anyway, I don't know if that's how it's being pronounced in the mainstream, but that's what I found on this particular pronunciation tool. Okay. You know what? So what do I think about this? I think Flare's going to be a monster too. I just, wow. Every time there is an announcement, it sets me back. Like I say to myself, I knew it was going to be great. Yeah, I was on Jerry's stream just a couple of hours after the snapshot was done on December 12th. And I remember being so hyped and talking about it. And everyone was a little bit like, are you sure? Yeah, I was pretty sure. But I have to be honest, I wasn't expecting this big of a deal. I really do think Flare Networks is going to be amazing. All right, we are jumping to the fluff. I'm going to talk about Gashapon. This is the really, really fun, and it's becoming even more cool than ever before. It is where you drop a couple of coins into a machine that you turn the handle on, and out pop these little capsules. And inside the capsules are crazy, wacky, creative, weird, beautiful, funny little plastic toys. And yeah, this is an example of some camping gear that was one that I just couldn't resist. The little furniture is irresistible for me. I think my favorite one, I have a lot. I have a set of cats that are dressed in kimono. If I had had the correct camera working with my software, I would be able to show you. They are just adorable. They're having a big drinking and party sitting on a tatami floor with some traditional food, chopsticks, fish, sake, soup, and they're all just talking away and toasting and laughing, and they are just the cutest little things you've ever seen. Well, they also have a brand new one that is hysterical. These are a series of animals that are weighing themselves on a scale. There's a penguin, there's a hippo, there's a fox, and then you can see this kind of dog here and with the bowl of food in front of the actual scale itself, and then you've got the panda. It's funny, you know, they're just always a little bit on the wacky side. Sometimes you can go into a store that's all they have. That's it. That's just full of these machines that dispense out nothing but fun. Or you can go to the Akihabara station in the main central part of Tokyo on the Yamanote line that has this beautifully designed wall of selection. It's just beautiful. I love to go to this station and check out what they have. The inventory is constantly changing because the popular stuff sells out. And when I mean it sells out, it sometimes will sell out in 3 days. And so there are a lot of people that collect, and then there is a very viable secondary market for them. And if you can get a whole collection in their original capsules, they sometimes will go for 3 or 4 or 5 times the amount that you spent your money on. Now, I've never resold mine, but I have seen the stores that specialize in the secondary market, and some of the prices are amazing. So here I found a guy, and this guy is funny. He's got a channel, and his channel is pretty much all gashapon. Here is from May 28th. I just played real quick for you.
Welcome to Japan, everybody, home of the gachapon. If you want to stock up on some life-changing capsule toys, you've come to the right place. So I was checking out the latest, greatest gachapon selections and collections. I saw some cats on swings, and I even saw some dog booty action. And that's a pretty nice dog booty right there. A decent dog booty, but truth be told, I wanted to see something a little more wholesome. I don't want to see twerking dogs, and I don't want to see wasted cats. I want to get back to the basics, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, look at what we got here. We got pets drinking away their sorrows like there's no tomorrow. But I want something a tad more uplifting. Can you blame me? I want those kid-friendly, wholesome, fun for the whole family gachapon that I used to know and I used to love. And lo and behold, what in the wide, wide world of inanimate pieces of plastic are these? Looks like we got some kawaii critters in customized homes.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to put a link to this one in the description below. It's a great channel. I love this guy. I just found him today. Yeah, it's a definite subscribe for me. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.